Sometimes you need that.
Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Caneswear today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to Caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
It's back. The green thing is running. Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm Bobby Fitztalk, and that's the one and only Fish Tank. Hey, Fish Tank, how you doing, brother?
With an introduction like that every time, I do great after that. It's like you are my hype man. You come in, you hype me up. I get all crazy and frantic before the cameras come on, and then you just sit back and laugh. But hey, we're talking about the schedule today. I love the schedule. I love the fact it came out. I've been getting smacked down and beat up on X or Twitter or whatever, Twix, whatever you want to call it. Fins up, Cap. Fins up, everybody. But today is a great day. I'm getting excited for the season. There's a group of us. We get together every first home game, and we decided this year we're going to rent a big giant house, kind of like a mansion, and there's going to be about 8 to 10 of us going there.
Nice.
And we're going to party for the first 2 weeks for the first 2 games.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool. It's going to be kind of exciting. And there's a group of us, and you're talking from Canada, Europe. They're from everywhere. They're from all over. And we're all just going to get together and have a good time. So that's our plans for the first 2 games.
Hey,
so
you know what?
I'm pretty stoked.
First, let's go. Let's roll this out. Frederick, good afternoon. Ender, Cap, good afternoon. Good morning, beautiful people. Introductions are wild. You're damn right. That's how we do it here. We have fun. We get it rolling. We're going to talk about the schedule today. That's what we're dedicated to. We're going to go game by game by game. We're going to talk about why Fish Tank Hank got some slack. People thought he was going to go 17-0. Spoiler alert. Hammer time. What's up, brother? But you know what? Again, this is way too early season predictions. Bleezy, what's up? Fins up, brother. And why I say way too early? It's not June 1st yet. We do not know what the final roster is going to look. Could Miami sign a safety? Could Miami go get a right guard? That could impact our season predictions before the season. Hank may say one thing, but then later he's like, Bobby, I love what they do. They got this right guard here. They got this linebacker, whomever. He said, I can see a win. I see an additional win now. Or he goes, this injury that happened in minicamp, I'm going to drop away. That's how it is. I haven't said anything yet. I have not said one thing about I've talked about the schedule, but I haven't said anything because I'm leaving it for today. But Scotty's in the house. Lawrence, Bleezy now. Everyone coming in. We appreciate you. Whether you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of the above, thank you for tuning in. Hop on over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. But anywho, Fish Tank, Man, very quick. I mean, you went balls to the wall. You threw that record prediction up there. I looked at it and went, holy crap, fish tank? Okay. Oh, I told you before the show, I was like, I'm really impressed. I'm like, yeah, okay, because, you know, you usually are the hype man. You're like, hey, we're all diehard Dolphin fans. You know this. You and I have been through it. But you're usually the more, you know, Bobby, this is the Dolphins. We're going to do it. And this year you're like, hey, you know what? I'm seeing this, this, and this. And, you know, prime time. This is the thing. You look at teams. Last year, it was different with the Titans versus the Dolphins. That's an example where you're like, I was like, hey, the Dolphins should beat the Titans. You're like, wait a minute. Of course, Derrick Henry's involved there. The Dolphins can't stop that run. They're usually tough to stop that run. It's a prime time game. Bobby, I had that as a loss. And I'm like, whoa.
You know how many people gave me crap about that game?
Yeah, I do.
I took a lot of flack from that game. But who came back and said, yo, Hank, you were right. You did, Bobby. You did. You were the only one that had my back. And you said,
Always.
Hey, you know, everybody's got their own opinion on things. And opinions aren't right or wrong. And we like them all to be heard here on this network.
100%.
Whether we agree or not is irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
We love all your comments.
Everyone has a right to an opinion. That's how I see it. Everyone has a right to their view, point of view, whatever. Right or wrong, it's all what it is. And Courtney in the house. Bobby, where's the beard? Holy crap, where did it go? No, you know, Court, this is the thing. You know, when I get sick, if I get like the you know, running all this crap, you know, I always wash my beard, but then I start feeling gross. So I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna cut it off, you know, or trim it down. And I'm starting to get gray hair. So this one over here. And I saw a lot of white hair and it looked like fish tank. I was patchy. So I was like, I'm going to just get the goatee and let it grow back. And it's already on its way back. It's already there. So, you know, it's all good. Tati liked it, Courtney. Tati loved it. So, but it's going to come back. I miss the beard. I always miss the beard when I shave it. But anywho. You know,
hey, for me, I go to a barbershop. And the gentleman that takes it to me, you know, I mean, I tell him full. That's all I tell him is full. And he doesn't speak English, which is really cool because I went to see him and he does an awesome job. And he just came here like 3 months ago from another country. So he moved barbershops on me. So I followed him where he was going, you know. But like you're saying, Bobby, I got so much gray, I got to try to take it out, you know? I got to take it out.
I do look younger when I shave, for sure. Hank is hot no matter what. There you go.
Yeah, all right.
Talk about hype, man. She's hyping you up, brother.
That's my girl right there.
There you go. Man, if I knew she was chilling today, I would have brought her onto the show. We could have all talked the schedule together. Let's see. If she raises her hand, I'll drop her one. But a link. But let's get this ball rolling. Let's talk here. Let's okay.
Get it going.
So I'm gonna pop us right here. Look at that. And kabooyah. Right there. Short, sweet, and to the point. Okay. There it is. The Miami Dolphins 2024-25 regular season schedule. All right. Again, as you see, Fish Tank just talked about it. We start 2 weeks at home. Jacksonville, Buffalo, go away to Seattle. Then we come back home, face the Titans, primetime game in Hard Rock, New England. Then we got an early week bye. I don't know how I feel about that. That is a little concerning to me because it's too early, especially with our team. But it is what it is. Then we got the Colts, Arizona at home, travel to Buffalo November 3rd. Got the Rams, Raiders at home, Patriots at home. Packers, Thanksgiving Day, primetime. Jets.
Thanksgiving night,
excuse me. Houston Texans, the 49ers at home. The Browns, the Jets away. So, first off, Hank, before we go game by game here,
sir.
We knew who the Dolphins were going to play. Everybody knew who they were going to play early on because they released the opponents early. But what we did not know is when, what time, and at what point during the season. So when you initially saw this, your initial reaction was what?
Wow. The end of the season's going to be tough. That was my initial reaction. I went, wow, we got an early bye in week 6, and at the end of the road, we have a tough end of the road as far as, out of 6 games, you have 3 freezing cold ones that are at night probably. So, it's going to make an impact in Green Bay. I guarantee you. I actually have mixed flip a coin style feelings on that Green Bay game because it is at night in Green Bay. So late in the season on week 13. But there's other factors in there too that we'll discuss.
There is. Absolutely. When I first saw it, I know 5 primetime games. That stood out to me. 5 primetime games. The start of the season looks very favorable. Very favorable. Absolutely. The last games of the season is where it's like, come on, dude. Like,
Last
what? And Fishing, you said this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but you talked about where are we on the rating of difficult schedule? Aren't we like one of the easier schedules of the season?
We're like 3rd.
We're 3rd, okay.
3rd easy or something like that, they said.
Okay. Put this
That's
here.
what they say. I don't say that, but they say that.
Yeah, I know. Let's move that there for now.
I let all the experts tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. So Craig already puts his thing on there. He says 13-4.
Whoa.
Let's see. I believe Alex, East Century Boys. I'm trying to get the right one. He was on there, and he was. I mean, I should have called him Homer Simpson because he was Homer to the balls to the wall. But he was 14-3, I believe. Which again, everyone has a right to their opinion. It's all good. That's the point of this. I think there's pros and cons to early bye. I prefer later, but early gives Phillips and Chubb extra time. Scotty, that's a great point. I did not even think about that. You're right. That would give, especially with the way the schedule looks, Miami has a strong chance to be undefeated at that point. And if that extra week 6, Chubb comes back in week 7, Miami's kind of at full strength. But okay. So let us roll here. Let's first talk about the first game, which is against the Jacksonville Jaguars, September 8th, 1 p.m., Hard Rock Stadium. Season ticket holder Fish Tank Hank is at the stadium. He is excited with Kelly, with the Corvette. They're there. Fish Tank, win, lose, or draw.
Win.
We got to win.
We got to win. We're it's pretty simple to look at this and figure out why we should win. With this speed and we're going to be in Florida at home. Either way, the game was in Florida, but I'm just saying our speed will be able to hit the track and start off running. And I think that they're going to do a great job against the Jaguars. Jaguars are fast, but they're not as fast as cheetahs. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Look at Cap. Cap threw his down there. We're going to get to that. 10-7 he has it during the season. So Cap, everyone who's watching right now, hey, get involved. Interact with us. As we're saying game by saying, right now we're at Jacksonville. Is this a win or a loss in your opinion? And if it's a loss, tell us why. And no hate. Seriously. Everyone has a right reason. Look, Jacksonville, let's talk about let's talk about what they could do, okay? Why they could be a difficult matchup, and they should be, right? They are a very good young team. They're a playoff team. They got Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, what they were able to do this offseason to help build up that team continuously. They're on the ups. They kind of fell off at the end of last year, i.e. like Miami, even though Miami went to the playoffs, it got bounced. Jacksonville's still a sneaky good team. I have it as a win. I feel very confident Miami's going to pull out this win this season. But there's no doubt Jacksonville could pull off an upset there. Absolutely. Week 2. Man, if there is a time to get the monkey off your back, the Buffalo Bills, the big brother of the division, they've handled their business against the Dolphins last year. They did lose Stephon Diggs, but hey, until like as the great Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And woo! Buffalo has been the man in this division for some time now. Miami could stomp that early. And what a time to do in week 2 at home at Hard Rock on prime time. Now,
Thursday night football.
Now, Fish Tank, now, I'm going to say this before I tell you the why not. I think they start off with a win here. Okay, I think the season starts 2-0. Just me. Why it might not be. Again, it's Buffalo. There's no sun situation. We know how much Buffalo complains about the sun. NFL did them a favor. They made it at night. And that's the other issue. It's prime time. The Dolphins struggle in prime time. This is the time they have to take that off their back. But despite that, I have it a win. It's at home. Where do you stand on this game right now?
Whoa, Bobby, you have a win. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'll probably be pretty wasted by that point in time, being we're all hanging out from the Jaguars to the Bills.
Yeah.
So it's going to be party central. By the time I get there, I might be staggering. So I better call one of them. One of them limo guys and have them drop me off or something. No. Bills, it's going to be another big party after the Bills game. It's a W. Big time W. Billy boys, even in the nighttime in Miami, it is still warm at night. So I got us 2-0 so far.
And Dolphin fans, those who are watching, those who are in South Florida or traveling to South Florida to watch this game, don't sell your tickets to Buffalo fans. Sell them to Dolphin fans if you're not going to attend the game. But if you are, fill up that stadium. Give us that home field advantage. That's one of the most important things on prime time. Moving on, we travel to the West Coast, Fish Tank, close to your old stomping grounds in Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks. This is a 4:00 game Eastern time. They got Geno Smith at quarterback. Pete Carroll is now gone. Again, Seattle is no joke. But Miami does have they have about 10 days to prepare for this game to get off that tough game that will be, I'm sure, against the Buffalo Bills. How you feeling on this one?
You know, I like it going against Geno Smith. I've been to that stadium and I watched the Dolphins play there also. That was exciting. But I think Miami has an edge on them. I just don't think they're as complete of a team as Miami is on offense. And I think Miami's offense is going to take advantage and win this game. So we're going to be 3-0.
There you go. I like it. Let me see here. I am with you. I think Dolphins start 3-0 on the season. Again, Seattle's no joke. Geno Smith did really well for himself last season. He got himself a new deal. He could be strong. But I see a win here at this point, at this juncture with these two teams. No doubt about what their running back situation. I'm losing his name right now, but he's a very good back. Of course, we do know about DK Metcalf and company. Seattle is a good, sneaky NFC team in a strong division. Could they do it? Absolutely. Will they do it? Right now, no, I don't feel that. I feel Miami at this point would win this game, starting the season 3-0. Frederick has it 1-2. So I get Buffalo and Seattle. He has his losses. And then we got that revenge game, Fish Tank, on Monday Night Football. You famously and against all odds chose the Titans last year to win their game against the Dolphins. Yeah, you use the reason, of course, the time slot and the running game. Derrick Henry's now in Baltimore. We don't face Baltimore this year. I love that. But it's still they got Tony. It's about damn time. They got we are prime time, and they got Tony Pollard. So Will Levis, second year going in, new head coach, new general manager and company. Can they do it again? Could the Tennessee Titans upset the Miami Dolphins?
Could they? Will they? Should they?
That's two different answers, huh?
Right there. See that W?
That's a W.
That's my W right there.
There you go.
Miami at home is tough for teams to beat. 9 out of 10 times, I will take Miami at home, unless it's one of the teams that really went deep into the playoffs or maybe went to the big show or something like that. But I think Miami's one of the toughest teams to beat at home, especially with all the speed they have. That speed is going to kill. So I have it 4 weeks in a row.
There you go. 4-0. I'm with you. I ain't disagreeing with you. You and I will agree on this. I believe the Dolphins will start the season 4-0. Again, another primetime game and another win for Miami. We know what Miami has done in primetime, but I'm thinking we start this 2-0 in primetime with our 5 games on primetime. And Cap, you're absolutely right. Seattle, 3 studs at receivers, 2 bell cow backs. I don't know about trading Geno, good veteran quarterback they just extended, but you know, who was it? Sam Howell they brought in, and so they could go that route. Anyway, moving on. The Patriots, Belichick gone. Mac Jones gone. He's in Jacksonville, the backup now. Belichick has no job. Nobody hired him. Supposedly the greatest coach of all time, better than Shula. Couldn't pass Shula though. Couldn't get that Super Bowl, which as Shula did in the undefeated season, but greatest of all time. Couldn't get a job. But Jared Mayo's now the head coach. Drake May is their starting quarterback, the rookie. You never know. They could be the Houston Texans this year. Not saying they are, but full disclosure, Fish Tank, it's a win for me in Foxborough. Dolphins start 5-0 before the bye. Am I wrong?
Well, Bobby, you know what I say to you. Sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
But this time you're right.
There you go.
Right. We are going to start the season, folks, 5-0. 5-0. I don't know that I've heard Bobby ever say that. So we're tracking. We're tracking. I mean, Frederick has us at 3-2. And
Manzano too.
Anthony has us at 3-2. Right on, right on. All right, Bobby, let's roll it out. We get
the bye at week 6. Okay, you start the season. It's gonna hurt because again, now Scotty has a great point with Phillips and Chubb starting the season. We don't know. Hopefully, Phillips starts the season. It's Chubb who might not, but this will give them that extra week to kind of heal up and be ready for that tough stretch that will come up towards the end of the season. But when you got, you think of Tua, you think of Raheem, Tyreek, those guys, Terran Armstead, who are beat up. Josh Wingate starting that troll. 0-5 on the season to start it off. Cowboys fan in the chat. Appreciate Josh tuning in. But yeah,
Thanks, Josh.
We appreciate you, man. 5-0, host of the On the Clock show with me and host of Beer Sports. No, right? Is that what it is? I'm losing it, but I'll find it. Anyway, I'm blanked out. Now, week 7. Week 7, Indianapolis Colts in Indy. I might go to this game. It's only 5 hours away from me. Still just thinking about it. October 20th. Fish Tank. Anthony Richardson. High expectations. Going into his second year. Was obviously hurt last year. He is showing off in camp right now. I'm very excited for his future as an NFL quarterback. Jonathan Taylor still is their running back. They got a very good roster. Could this be the first loss of the season for the Dolphins?
No. No. Hate to break the bank and break your heart, Bobby, but no. We're going to be 6-0.
6-0. I'm with you. I think it's 6-0. I'm with you. Not taking away from that. Anthony and Frederick both believe it's a win as well. They got it 4-2 for the Dolphins at this point. Scotty, we're waiting for Scotty's response. We'll move on to Arizona at home at Hard Rock. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler Murray, fully healthy. Hopefully at that point, maybe still is. You know, they got a decent roster. It's a talented roster. Young, hungry, but not hungry enough. Dolphins win.
Yeah.
7-0.
Where are we playing?
We're playing at the Rock.
Playing at the Rock. They don't have a defense that can cover our offense. It's just that simple. It really is. We're going to knock the snot out of them.
Yeah, I have this as a win, and if those who've been watching this show, Fish Tank, who's been tagging with me on this show, knows that I try to be as realistic. I consider all options, and I will give a loss if I feel it's a loss. But I honestly think, even with injuries, even with no right guard, if it's Eichenberg or that legitimate third safety, whatever you really want to point out, I still, because if Taron Armstead goes down, we got Kendall Lamb, who was strong. The center position is still a question mark because we got Aaron Brewer, Connor Williams, one of the top centers in football, out. He's not signed with Miami. We got Brewer there. I still believe Miami is talented enough to beat the teams that they have on the schedule currently at the times and places they're playing them. 7-0. Here's where they get their first loss in Buffalo, Week 9. It's a tough place to play. Buffalo ain't no joke. Miami will split the season series. They go 7-1. Fish Tank, tell me why I'm wrong.
Because you knew I was going to tell you were wrong.
I knew
you
it.
already knew that. You knew it was coming, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. Because first off, my birthday is November 2nd, and this game is on November 3rd. Okay?
Okay.
So I want a happy birthday present. All right? So I want the Miami Dolphins to win. Now, let's discuss it. We're going to discuss the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, can the Buffalo Bills run on the Miami Dolphins? That has been the question. That has been the Achilles heel. I'm including Josh Allen running too.
Sure, yeah, you should have to.
So I'm saying right now, Miami has to be able to stop that. Can the Miami Dolphins currently stop their run? I believe they can right now. Can the Buffalo Bills stop the Miami Dolphins offense in the beginning of November on a day game in Buffalo? Yeah, I just, again, there's too much strength on our offense. There's no way. Their defense can't cover it. They can't cover it. You know, we have the fastest team ever in the NFL. We do. The Miami Dolphins. And I just really don't see a lot of teams that can keep up with them. So I have a win, a big win, and I'll celebrate not only on my birthday, but the day after my birthday with that big W.
There you go. All right. So Hank has it 8-0. I have it 7-1 at this point in time. Manzano 7-4 at this time right now. So we go on and we move. November 25th is Cap's birthday. There you go.
Right on, Cap.
Now we move on to the Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford, Puka. You got Cooper Kupp. They drafted my top running back in the draft, which is Blake Corum from Michigan. They lost Aaron Donald, but then they got my top player in Braden Fisk with Jared Verse, defensive edge rusher and defensive tackle. They are going to be a very good team next season. This will be Miami's second loss. I have it 7-2. Fish Tank. Where do you have it?
I have them losing this one. This will be their first loss of the season. They will not be able to keep up. They will be worn out after that Buffalo game, and they're going to take a crippling when they go out onto the West Coast.
There you go.
I have LA just smacking them. I think our team's they're just going to be worn out at that point in time. That's as many games as before the bye. So,
Hey, you got it.
It's going to be tough.
You got it. All right, we move on. We go back home After being in California, go back home, face the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, of course, I think it's Aiden O'Connell who's their starting quarterback, or will be. Jimmy G is gone. We know Antonio Pierce. He did very well for them last year, got the full-time job. Good for him. They still got a very strong roster. It's the Raiders. They've always had that in them. They got the fight. They got the will. They got the power, but they don't get the W here. The Dolphins win it. They go 8-2 at this point in the season, Fish Tank. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong on this one. The Dolphins will come back off of that loss. They'll have a bitter taste in their mouth because they'll be doing so well at this point in time. And they're going to step up and want to show the Raiders whose house it is. This is a loss for the Raiders.
There you go. The loss for the Raiders. So Miami pulls that one out. Let me see here. There you go. You stay home. You go against the Patriots. I'm not even going to talk about this. Miami pulls off. He's going to win this game. I'm not going to go talk disrespectfully, but come on. Really? No. I don't. Drake May is not a bad quarterback, but he wasn't my top-rated rookie. It is what it is. I'm not concerned at all about the Patriots.
Bobby, it's a simple equation. No Brady, no win for the Patriots.
That's it.
That's simple.
That's it. All right, moving on. We got a win there. Now, this is where the schedule gets dicey. Okay.
Ooh.
Thank goodness the food is amazing on Thanksgiving. I look forward every year to Thanksgiving. My wife makes the best turkey I've ever had. I look forward to that every year. I mean, it is so damn good. It is so flavorful, and I'm getting myself messed up with it right now thinking about it. Thank God the food is good.
Wipe your mouth right there.
I know. Yeah, it's to be a fun game. It's a primetime game. It's against the Packers. Jordan Love really showed out last season. They had a great draft. Been a very good offseason. It's going to be a fun game, and nothing would be better than the Miami Dolphins winning that game. But right now, at this juncture for me, I peg this as a loss, Fish Tank.
Yeah.
Where do you got it?
Yeah. Week 13, late at night, 11/28 is the date. It's going to be cold. Those hits are going to hurt, and they're going to hurt those wide receivers a lot. I see us losing this game. I just don't think we can keep up at night in Lambeau. It'll be too cold, and you know what the cold does to our speed. It shuts it down. So yeah. I have that as a loss for us.
Nothing would be greater than a win, no doubt. But just right now, at this juncture, I'm with Fish Tank. We got a loss here.
I have to go that direction for right now.
Then now we face the Jets for the first time all season. This is we'll stay at home. We're going home and we'll place, we'll see if Aaron is there or not. Whatever. But Aaron Rodgers there or not, I'm not going to say the Jets are a trash team. They got a very talented roster, but not talented enough. Miami wins this game against the Jets at Hard Rock, Fish Tank.
Absolutely. I love Miami at home. Like I've told you before, I will put them against most teams at home. That's a W.
There you go. All right.
I have 2 losses so far.
Two losses so
far.
All right. Now, the Houston Texans.
Yep.
The Texans really surprised the NFL last year, but I don't think they're a shot in the pan. I mean, C.J. Stroud and company, who did they get as a running back? They traded for someone, and even though they had a decent back, Dameon Pierce, they got someone else. But a strong roster, they traded for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Will Anderson. The way that I'm trying to remember their head coach now. DeMarco Ryans. I mean, they got themselves a squad there in Houston, and I think Miami could match up well, but not well enough. Fish Tank. I have this as a loss.
Yeah, you're right. I think the Texans are a lot stronger team than a lot of people think. And I think we're going to take a loss on that one also. That's where Miami starts their, shall we call it
it's a tough spell at that point.
Season slump slide. I don't know what you want to call it, but.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Season where Miami has got to prove something to me, and they haven't been able to do that. I have them as a loss on the road.
There you go. Moving on. San Francisco back home. The 49ers. You got Coach Shanahan. Basically the teacher with the student of Mike McDaniel. The Dolphins, very talented squad. This is late in the season. We don't know how. Every team is dealing with injuries at this point. Miami struggles in December. Miami's going to want to take that monkey off their back, of course.
Yeah.
That notion that they struggle in December against good teams. San Francisco is just so damn good. So damn good. And this will be the first. No, yes. This will be another loss for the Dolphins. They'll drop their second in a row from Houston to San Francisco. Where do you stand, Fish Tank?
I hate to agree with you on this one, Bobby, but without that right guard, without a viable backup safety, and without a known linebacker core, I don't know that we can beat San Fran at home. They are the one team that concerns me because they are built like us. The only difference is they have those playmakers, those special playmakers in those little areas where Miami hasn't fit them in yet. And I think that they'll take the win, but it'll be a battle. It will be one heck of a battle. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. And I think Miami loses this one at home.
There you go. Week 17. This is going to be a tough game. It's in Cleveland. It's December 29th. We assume weather will be a big factor against maybe number one defense in the NFL last year. Could be the number one defense. And at night, prime time. Everything spells a loss here, Fish Tank. Even without Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns were no joke last season.
This is going to be a total smackdown. Miami's going to go up there and get beat. It's just that simple. I hate to say it, but the slide continues. That'll be 3 in a row Miami drops.
3 in a row. It's hard to argue with you. Hard to argue against what you're going to say. But I am going to disagree with you. I have a win here. I got to win. Okay. Listen, it's prime time. It's December. It's away. Yep. We know how Miami struggles.
It's everything Miami loses against. Yes.
That's right. And I agree with Cap. You're right. Everything points to a loss. Everyone, and Scotty says, if you were to put money, most people would choose a loss in this game as well. Cleveland will make or break Miami. Miami is going to have that on their back. Green Bay, Houston, San Francisco, people are going to be saying, Miami can't beat the good teams. They're not going to beat Cleveland. I believe Cleveland could be a strong team. But Miami will win this game.
Hey, Craig, you watch these back. I'm wrong a lot.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. Hey, I can't say Fish Tank is wrong, Craig, because guess what? We don't know. We don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, everyone has a right to think what they want right now. That's the point of this. But I see it as a win. I think Miami will respond to losing 2 in a row. I think this will be a tight, very close, hard-hitting game. Yeah, I believe Tua, if healthy, is better than Deshaun Watson at that point in the season. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Yes, cold is going to stop you from maybe passing too much. But Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, that defense, I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's a tight game. I think Miami pulls it off in Cleveland. And then you go to New York to face the Jets. Is it prime time? We don't know. Is it for the AFCs? We don't know. Maybe it is. More than likely, if our record is Fish Tank. Do you know what? Aaron Rodgers or no Aaron Rodgers? New York at night or New York during the day? Cold or hot? It's a win. I have it as a win, Fish Tank. That's how I see it. Where am I? Yeah. Where are you at?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for everybody, but we are going to lose to the Jets, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people are going to say the Jets. Yeah, I heard the same thing about the
Sure.
Titans. I heard the same thing about the Titans over and over and over and over last year. All right, folks? Bottom line is the Jets have gotten better every single year. Every single year, the talent on that team has gone up. I don't see the quarterback position with Rodgers, whether he's there or not. I don't think that makes the difference in this team, like you were saying, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Because I think that's what you were getting at also. I don't think that he makes or breaks the team, but I do think they have a lot of great talent on offense and defense. And Miami's going to be tired, worn out, and taking a butt whooping from Cleveland. They take another L here for my 4th loss in a row for the first time I've ever given Miami 4 in a row losses.
There you go. That's okay. So it's at 11-6. Is that right?
11-6. That's what I have them at.
And I got it 12-5. So it's opposite of what we were last year. But
some of the comments.
I want to respond to this one right here, Fish Tank.
Sure.
Bobby, you have way too much faith in Tua to perform well in cold weather when his track record has proved he doesn't do well in that weather. Out of the cold weather games, how many did I choose to win? 1. Green Bay is a loss. Okay. Miami, I believe. Cleveland. And it's not faith in Tua, even though I do have faith because Tua has gotten better every year. Everyone knows my critique of Tua, and anyone who doesn't ignore that or ignores that, that's up to you. But I'll say this. It's not faith in Tua, it's faith in this team. Faith in our running game. Faith in our coach. Again, 2 losses in a row, 3 in a 4-week span. Green Bay, Houston, San Francisco. Miami's not going to lose, in my opinion. I don't see Miami could lose that many in a row. I think they respond. And if they don't, if it goes the route Fish Tank goes, and let's say they lose all those games in a row, and then they drop one in the wild card, maybe time to clean house. But
well, Bobby,
Shake Money, what's up, brother?
You name since we've been doing these shows, you name the year that Miami hasn't collapsed at the end.
Yeah. Has it? This is the year. Yeah.
And half of these games are definitely against Miami. I mean, as far as the schedule goes, come on, you're going to be in the blistering cold 3 times in those 6 games. I hear
you. I hear you.
I don't know.
Listen, last year I had it. What was it? What was their?
Hold on, I got something important here to read.
Go ahead, read it up.
Frederick says, Fish Tank's wise, reasonable guy. Oh, yeah, and cool. You too, Bobby. Well, thank you, Frederick. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We get too many of those cool guy things, so thank you.
There you go. There you go. Look, last year, people are probably calling me the homer right now, and I'm okay with that. But last year, I had him going 11-6. People were calling me nuts. They were saying I was being a hater. They were calling me a hater.
What do you have on them this year?
12-5. 12-5. Then they win 11-6. Do you remember Fish Tank last year? People were calling me a hater. We did the schedule with Big E. We had him on, and you guys had a very favorable record. I don't remember. And you guys were like, Bobby, it's not so crazy. I think this team, even though, yes, we lost Christian Wilkins, Connor Williams, etc., but I believe this team in the 3rd year under McDaniel will respond and improve and go into the postseason very strong. Very strong. I have faith. I do. I went, and again, this draft class, this is the first draft class in a while where I'm not talking myself into liking it.
Well,
I like it.
What? And crazy Dolphin is, on the fence. Crazy Dolphin's like, hey, I'm going to wait and see this year. I'm kind of in the same. I'm starting to get those feelings. I've never felt this way about our team, and you know me. I'm 100% behind this team, but
yeah,
they got to put something. They got to put something down somewhere on this offensive line. They need to put another piece in there before some of these games will become wins for me. And until I see something change where I think this offensive line can do what I think it needs to in those cold games, they can make a little more time with the running backs, with the play calling, with so many different things to make it different in the heat. But you get in the cold, they don't have all those variables that they normally have. And I just don't like Miami this year in the cold. I really don't.
I understand. And you know what? Totally, absolutely fair. What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me? Though, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's in the trenches, and that's where we're softest. That's not good.
See, Scotty, and that's why, like, again, Fish Tank is 11-6 right now. He could be 12-5 by the start of the season if they go ahead and get maybe a Dalton Reisner or company.
Yeah.
And Manzano, you're not wrong. We know what Tua has been in the cold weather games. We understand that. I understand that. I'll say I understand that. I understand what Miami has been. But I'm thinking about our running game. I'm thinking about adjustments. I'm thinking about our coach in his third year. What do good teams do when their quarterbacks do not perform well in cold weather games? They adjust. They change their game plans. And Miami has enough talent that they could do that. I have faith. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. It's not going to be one where we're screaming, going, holy crap, the Denver Broncos. No. It's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be a fight. We're going to leave limping out of that game, bruised up, ready to go, bleeding. But we're going to win, in my opinion, at this juncture. Okay? Now,
right, Bobby.
Preseason.
I want to be wrong, Bobby. I really do want to be wrong.
That's a first. That's a first.
No, that's not a first.
We were first. I think you were 12-5 last year, and I was 11-6. Now you're 11-6, and I'm 12-5. So maybe we flip the script here. I don't think either way.
I think they're going to add just a word of caution. I think they're going to add some pieces, but until I see it, I'm giving that last game a loss.
I understand.
If our trenches don't improve, and
I can't argue with you.
Offensive line does not improve. There's no way I can give them that final game versus the Jets for the AFC East.
I am. I'm not going to argue with you, and I hope I'm wrong. No, I have that as a win. I hope I'm right. I'm going to be right.
You're right.
Because it's the Jets.
Wrong, remember?
It's the Jets. I don't, again, the Jets, we handle our business. I'm not scared of Aaron Rodgers. I respect him as a quarterback, obviously one of the best of all time, but I'm not worried about that game. And Bobby, another issue that scares me, though, is McDaniel, even when the running game is successful, he moves away from it. That's what scares me about the Cleveland game. You're not wrong, Anthony. That is something he has done. That's a negative on him as a coach. He doesn't stick to being a 50-50, 60-40 guy. He's more of a 70-30, 70% pass, 30% run. He goes away from that run. But
yeah,
they drafted two running backs mid-draft, early in the draft. They traded up for Jalen Wright. What does that tell me? That tells me that he is going to start focusing on that running game. Yeah. I have faith that our coach in his third year will adjust and start implementing that a lot more. I don't think there are going to be any kind of 2,000-yard season hopes for Tyreek Hill. I think this team's going to go into there going, hey, look, we know what we could do in the passing game. If we can add a legitimate running game to this offense, add that element with the talent that we have in that backfield, who's going to stop us except ourselves? That's what I think the Dolphins are going to be like. That's what I think they're going to do. Okay. I hope I'm wrong at 12-5. I hope we're 13-4 or 14-2 or whatever you want to call it. But I got it 12-5. Fishing has it 11-6. And again, this is way too early for all of us. Early. We don't know what happens post June 1st.
We haven't even done training camp, for crying out loud.
That's right. This is, but you know what I mean. So full disclosure in asterisk, what do you want to put on there? Fish Tank may be 13 wins by the start of the season. Go, Bobby. Would they were able to do 13 wins, or would I, and I might be, maybe I drop it to 11-6. We don't know, but right now I feel really good about this team, and so does Fish Tank. 11-6 does not spell he feels bad. I know Fish Tank. He feels really damn good, but I love the arguments and I love the realism there. I really do. I love the realism. I love it. You're like, hey man, what has the record show? What have we done? And it's like Eddie Murphy. What have you done for me lately in the cold weather on primetime? Not a goddamn thing. Now's the time.
I totally believe when you get down to these close games, it comes down to the trenches, and Miami doesn't have it. They don't have it. That's what pisses me off. I don't get upset too much about the Dolphins, but come on, man. Year after year after year, you sit there and say, oh, we're not worried about the offensive line. Come on, man.
That's
Wake
the killer.
up.
That's
Wake
the killer.
up.
If you go into this season with that offensive line currently as is, that could hurt you.
You'll get 11 and 6.
That's going to hurt you.
I bet.
It will hurt you.
I would put some money out there, Bobby. I really would.
I wouldn't blame you.
People don't believe me. If we don't do something about that line, they'll become believers real fast.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Absolutely. 100%. The health of this line will determine the season for sure. Absolutely. 100%
Definitely,
for
Scotty.
sure.
Definitely.
Let me see here.
What else you got, Bobby?
Well, today was only about the schedule, but I want to take a look here. Okay. Oh, no, for sure. I don't want to get all into Anthony brought up Tua, but this reminded me now. Tua voluntary minicamp. Reports are he hasn't really been at voluntary minicamp, Fish Tank. Supposedly, the guessing game here for people who want to do some clickbait is that he didn't show up to voluntary minicamp because of his contract situation. He's playing hardball. Fact or fiction, Fish Tank?
That is fiction, and I'll tell you why. Because Tua has been flying to California to work with quarterback coaches. That's why. So it's not that he doesn't want to be there, but when he is there, he is part of the meetings. He's part of the team and everything going on. And he flies back and forth between the two places. So that's why Tua is missing this year, even though he's been there every other year. They're trying to go through a little more with these 3D QB is what they called it, I think. And that's what he's doing. And as soon as mandatory camp starts, as soon as everybody comes in, Tua is going to be right there with everybody else. So it is fiction, Bobby.
I'll tell you, first off, I agree. I believe it's fiction. It's not in Tua's character, and it has not been in regards of this season. He's traveling. He's working with John Beck and company, trying to improve on his game. He does it every year. He is trying to improve on what he didn't have last year. He's doing it this year. He's working with a quarterbacks coach, and I was trying to look it up, the report, but supposedly he called the rookie receivers get together and start training. This is why I'm telling you why I think it's fiction. First off, it's voluntary. It's within his right to skip it anyway. Even though, teams are, players like, hey, it's voluntary, but I'd like you to be here. But also, even if he did say, I'm holding out for voluntary workouts because I want to figure out my contract situation. I don't want to get hurt during voluntary workouts, and now I'm not getting paid. It's within his right. It is within his right to say I'm not going.
I mean, he's on his final year. He's trying to be a better quarterback, for crying out loud. How could you fault the guy for that?
And he's trying. Hey, even if like I'm saying, even if it was, I want to get my money. I'm not going to show up until mandatory camp until I get my money. Hey, you know what? It's within your right. It's not like you're doing it 3 years left on your deal. You got 1 year left, and you have a bad history of injuries. You need to go get your money, because guess what? If you play on that deal with 1 year and then you get hurt, no one's paying you the equal amount that you probably should get. So even if it was, I wouldn't care. And for somebody said something, oh, they're going 7-9 or something because Tua is not. Shut up. Come on. Like, oh, and that it wasn't a Dolphins fan, because I'm not like that with Dolphins, because everyone has a right to their opinion. I will never shame anyone on their thing. That was to like a national guy.
Bobby,
but it's
just tell somebody to shut up and be done with it, bro.
Shut up. But
You're
anywho,
too nice sometimes, Bobby. Let me help you out with that. Whoever it was, bada fungul.
There you go. Fish Tank is my conscience. I'm nice, and Fish Tank will answer for me. That's why if I ever have to say something, I go, Fish Tank, deal with him. Just walk away.
Hey, if I give you a bada fungul, that means you got problems.
There you go. Tua needs to be with the team as much as possible. Let's see. Bobby, OTAs haven't started yet. What has Tua skipped?
Yeah. He hasn't
Voluntary.
been there when the rookies are there. That's what
That's
it is.
That's what the whole big thing is. Let's read. Let's read it.
Greet the rookies in the door and shit.
Let's read. Let's see. Wait. Let's read what the whole thing is about, Scotty, so we can catch up on that. Because that's what to me again. It doesn't matter. CBS Sports. Let's open up CBS Sports. Tua Tagovailoa has been mostly absent from Dolphins activities as Miami quarterback looks for next big contract. Miami will begin their team drills on Monday as part of their voluntary organized team activities, and it's unclear whether starting quarterback Tua will be part of them. He has been absent for the majority of the voluntary offseason work since the Dolphins reported back April 15th. This is in stark contrast to his first 4 seasons in the league when Tagovailoa was present for most of the voluntary work. Sources believe his absence is, this is the thing, sources believe it is related to his contract status. It's not a fact, but whether it was fact or whether it is fiction, it doesn't matter. It's within his right. Yeah. First off, it's voluntary. And secondly, if he really wants to say, hey, I am not showing up until I get paid, at least till mandatory, all power to you. That is within your right. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that right now.
There you go. There you go. Fishing, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out.
That's a good one, Color. I like that.
To my girl doll. Wink, wink.
There you go. There you go. She's working out, she said.
Because, Doll makes me famous by coming on here and giving me props. So,
Sports Illustrated just released their predictions for the Dolphins right now. Yeah. And they have it 9-8. Yeah. 9 wins, 8 losses. Let me just tell you the wins.
Over-under is 9.5.
Is it? Let me tell you the wins. It's Bills, Patriots, Cardinals, Jags, Titans, Raiders, Jets, Colts, Rams. The losses: Jets, 49ers, Bills, Patriots, Texas, Seahawks, Browns, Packers. There you go. There you go. It is what it is, folks. It's early. Don't get too butthurt over people's predictions. That's all that matters. Craig, thank you, brother. Loves the show. I appreciate you, my man. Hammer time. Thank you, sir.
Everybody. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Caller, thank you for popping in. Cap, as always. Scotty, always great to see you. Frederick, thank you so much, my man. Had a lot of fun. So do we, man. We have all fun. Doll, even though she's working out, appreciate you for tuning in. Crazy Dolphin, Anthony Manzano, Bleezy. Trying to get everybody up in here.
Hey, let me tell you, my girl Doll, she's looking good. She's doing all that working out and getting buff. Did you know that?
I did see that.
Yeah, she's been doing that over on X and letting people know, hey, join in with me, be part of this. I got to get healthy. So she's doing her thing, and she's showing a couple pictures, and she's slimming up and doing her thing and looking good, Doll. Great work. Keep it up, girl.
There you go.
Just wanted to give a shout out.
100%. Shout out to Doll's Diaries on Dolphins Thirsty.
Hard work, hard work doesn't come along every day anymore.
No, it doesn't. Shout out. Make sure. Thank you, Aladino, caller, everyone tuning in. We appreciate you. Dolphin fans. First off, let me just say this right before, because I didn't say this last week. Tonight, Finstock Sports Network continues for wrestling fans. If you're a wrestling fan, come back over here, 8 p.m. Eastern. Me and Josh Kimmel will be on for the second episode of No Holds Barred. We're very excited about partnering up with the Sports Live Sportscast app, which you can download on Roku. We're shooting live tonight. We'll be live on YouTube, and then we'll be on their channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. So, for Dolphin fans, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, always, as importantly, fins up.
Fins up.
See you next Saturday.